All right, it's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be talking a little bit about Siwoo Kim, the Pete Dye Course Master win this past weekend at the Amex, and we're also going to look ahead to the Farmers Insurance, give you some DFS and betting picks for that. So let's get into it. All right, let's go inside the ropes to start off the week. So Siwoo Kim, Pete Dye, absolute master.
Yeah, just a specialist.
Just like it's crazy. I mean, you have some. I guess we can get into that more like with our stat of the week like later. But like the guy just like I feel like what was the last tournament that we really zoned in on this stat? It was like Harbortown, right?
It was probably the Harbortown or the Players.
Harbortown, because Harbortown came after.
Harbortown was after the Players
last year, at least.
Yeah, I don't know why, but he just like is insane at all these Pete Dye courses, and he kind of popped out. I don't want to say out of nowhere, but like when you were watching it yesterday, Trev, I know you thought like, oh, that's Sungjae Im, not Siwoo Kim, because they wear the same fit.
No, it wasn't even like that. This is the same fit, same outfit or anything like they were wearing. I just looked at the leader. I was getting food at like Five Guys, and I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, I wonder what the scores are for the PGA Tour tournament. I was gonna watch like when I got back, and I see Siwoo Kim's at the top, and for whatever reason I thought it was Sungjae Im at the top. Like I just assumed it was like Sungjae Im.
But they're both sponsored by the CJ Cup. They're both they both like kind of have like a pudgy like look to them, kind of.
They do,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. For sure.
Like baby faces, and yeah, I mean like dude, that birdie putt on 17 was insane.
Nice. Yeah.
I know.
Like, or not even the birdie putt as much as like just the overall golf hole that he played, because that hole is not easy.
I mean, I think he lucked out a little bit because I mean, obviously he hit it close enough to make a putt, but somebody else was like just outside of him. It might have been Max Homa, and like it just gave him an absolute read on the putt, and that's why I was like, right, he's gonna drain it after I saw that.
I mean, Cantley,
last revolution of the ball too. And I was kind of hoping to see a playoff with Cantley after his fantastic day at the 11 under or whatever it was.
He shot at 61, yeah.
Yeah, but like, and then he hit the fairway in 18, hit the like green, like it was rolling toward the hole. I'm like, all right, he won. He's gonna win this, and then he just tapped in for a birdie or a par and won the tournament.
It was actually a pretty entertaining week of golf.
It was.
I watched like a decent amount of it.
For sure.
Yeah, and then we also had Tyrrell Hatton over in Dubai. He's just like automatic on the European Tour, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I watch
insane.
I like see like an European Tour leaderboard and he's playing and he's just like dominating.
I saw some stat I was trying to find on Twitter before this, but I think he has the most wins in the since in the calendar year, like up to this date or something like that, like last like calendar year on tour, like or in the world, like some more than Dustin Johnson, more than I mean, that's the only person I can think of who has as many wins, or as a lot of wins probably. But
yeah,
I mean, Tyler Hatton we remember last year, like after the pandemic and everything like that, when they started up again, he was as hot as anyone in the world. We had him in our lineup and picked him every single week, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And just shows.
He's just he's a very good ball striker, and he's kind of put together his entire game this year, the putting and the ball striking. It's a good combo. So.
He outdueled Rory at the end too. Like he's had phenomenal.
I mean, I didn't really watch the tournament, but I saw some highlights, and he had some insane shots over the course of the week. Like just a bunch of like par 5, like 3 woods from like way downtown. Like he was just sticking them. It was crazy.
Right. And we also kind of like glanced where we didn't glance over it at all. It happened after we recorded the podcast. I think like an hour after. Tiger Woods got another back surgery.
Yeah, came out of nowhere too.
It did come out of nowhere.
I didn't think anything of it really. I was just like, oh, and then I like kind of like thought about it for a second. I was like, wait, is he okay? Like
they're like, it just seems like it's honestly it feels like it's like normal at this point. Just like oh, Tiger had neurosurgery. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's why I didn't.
It's what's weird. Like it's not that weird, but everyone's and then like it kind of took a while for it to hit me. I'm like, oh, he's going to be out for a while. Like I don't think he's playing. He's going to play at the Masters. That's his next term. He's trying to play at the Masters at least.
So
he might not even play then.
I guess he had like a disc fragment that was like pinching his nerve, so he just had like a little micro surgery.
Painful.
He still be fine. It is Tiger, so I don't really know what to expect anymore.
I mean, he doesn't play a full schedule anyway, but usually you would see Tiger playing this week at the Farmers. So like tournament host and also at the Genesis. I mean, they're saying he's supposed to be out at least 2 months. I would assume he won't come back until maybe the Masters.
Yeah, that's.
I would. I just think
he's gonna spend all his time. I don't think he's gonna play a tournament before the Masters. I don't think there's any reason for him to. I just don't think there's like even the players. I don't think he'll play in the players. I don't think he'll want to. I think he's just gonna spend all his time preparing for the Masters and see if he comes back, which never really works out for him in the past. He never really works out for Tiger, like not playing in tournaments before that, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see him in April, I guess, and then we'll go from there.
I was gonna say, hopefully, I feel like
back to his normal self or back to still playing good golf.
He won't. I feel like he won't play well at the Masters if that's his first tournament. I feel like there's just. I mean, like, if there's one tournament you'd want to go back to first, it would probably be the Masters because he knows it like so well, and it's like not that difficult of like a course comparatively to some.
And we say every year, like if Tiger's gonna win any major, it's gonna be the Masters. Probably every he's gonna have the best chance. So, I mean, if he's preparing all the time for that, he's like better than anyone. So,
I mean, you can never doubt Tiger. I feel like he's always trying to prove the haters wrong. So,
I mean, he'll still play that week, and we'll still all be pulling for him. We'll still be like that little hope, or like he could what if he wins again, and what if he does this? What if he plays well? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is the point where it's like, okay, it's starting to wind down a little more. Like he's getting another back surgery. He's not playing performance. It's just. I hope he wins. I hope he keeps winning. I hope he keeps playing. But I just don't. I don't know what to. I just don't know what to expect.
Comeback happened, and now we're just kind of on the. That was like that. That's like the pinnacle that won't be reached again.
Yeah, it won't be reached. I feel like after that point, he's like, all right, I can kind of take it easier now. Like I've made my comeback, and I can kind of like have smooth sailing a little bit, which I understand that from his perspective at least.
All right. So let's get into the Monday hypothetical. So G came up with this like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. So pretty much the question is, if you had to play in any PGA Tour event, and we're gonna exclude majors for this, which event would you play and which one would you choose?
So right off the bat, my first question's like, well, where like, are you trying to win, or are you or are you just like thinking it's cool? Because if you're trying to win, it's like probably not Augusta.
Well, like, are you including majors?
Excluding majors, no majors.
Excluding majors.
Oh okay. Wow, I didn't even see that. I was looking at the post.
Because you know everybody's gonna choose like the U.S. Open.
Yeah, Augusta.
Or Augusta or something. So, no majors.
Right.
All right, but that is a fair question though. Are you trying to win, like trying to win the tournament? Or are you just playing like you're gonna shoot 85 or 90 and play in the tournament and then?
I mean, yeah, it is true. I know that I'm not gonna win any tournament, so I would assume I'm just choosing the cool tournament out of that.
The cool tournament,
without too much pressure, you know.
All right.
So like I think a lot of people would probably choose like the Waste Management or something like that because that's a cool course with like the stands and stuff. But I just think that would be way too much like pressure, like topping a shot on like 16 or something like that. So
no, I'm absolutely choosing the Waste Management Open in Phoenix.
I was gonna say because imagine if you played 2 rounds there and like you're not gonna make none of us are gonna make the cut on tournament. But if you played 2 rounds there, all you have to do is hit the green both rounds, and everyone just love you forever.
Also, there's not a singular tournament where the fans are more into it. And do you know how much fans would absolutely love you if you were just like this random guy just playing? Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
Well, also it's the risk if you don't hit the green, people are gonna boo the shit out of you. So it's just a whole. I don't know. I would choose the Waste Management. I think the crowd would be. That's like the place where the crowd is most into it. Besides, that's non-major. Maybe the players too, but
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, the Players is a good one because it's kind of like the fifth major and all that stuff. I'm just looking through all the events right now. I do kind of like the Hawaii events, like the Sony Open and the
playing
Champions.
would be cool.
Yeah, Kapalua would be really cool.
Go on a little vacation, play some golf with some PGA Tour pros.
Yeah.
Tournament. Pretty chill.
You could go out to TPC River Highlands and get the Connecticut card going for ourselves. Maybe
the home state.
Who wants to go to Hawaii when you can go to TPC River Highlands and Cromwell, Connecticut?
Yeah, dude, Cromwell. You know what they say? You know what they say about Cromwell CT? Neither do I.
Yeah, I'm about to say what?
Yeah,
I think the waste management is pretty good. Honestly, the Farmers is probably pretty cool too, but maybe Pebble Beach.
I was gonna say the first one that came to mind, non-major, was the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, because one, you get to play with a bunch of famous people, and two, so that are more on your level than PGA players are, because
that kind of just takes you off
much pressure possibly.
You'd be one of the PGA players technically, so so it takes a little pressure off you. That's an interesting one. I also would love to play Pebble Beach.
Oh yeah, my God, it'd be amazing.
So what's your final answer, Jeek?
I'm gonna go with even though I'm not a champion, the Century Tournament of Champions. I think just going to Hawaii would just be the deal with that.
The exemption.
That course looks amazing. That course looks sick. Too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, some of those shots would be so fun to I feel like an approach shot on 18, not that we would be going for the green in 2, would be so cool.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that it just releases down to the left. I feel like that'd be an awesome shot to hit.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I feel like usually when you're playing a course outside of your own home course, you don't know as much about the course, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't just know unless I'd watched the tournament in Kapalua that the green releases down to the left. When we played Bethpage, I knew certain things about Bethpage just from
watching.
Yeah, watching.
Mm.
So, on that note, let's move into the who's hot, who's not of the week. So, obviously, Patrick Cantlay. I mean, did you see his putt on 18?
No, I did not.
He to get to where he was, he sunk a birdie putt. I saw that he had a 38 feet 4-inch birdie putt. I was like, oh, so okay, so Tim just needs to make one birdie, but then he just sunk this 38-foot birdie putt.
I mean, that day
he was locked.
He didn't make any equals either. He just made 11 birdies, 11 birdies and 7 pars. That's an unreal day.
Yeah,
unreal. No birdies or no eagles, no bogeys, just consistent birdie golf.
Yeah, his last 4 events, he won at the Zozo, T17 at the Masters, T13 at the Century, and second at the American Express.
He might be one of the early. If he keeps playing well, he might be one of the early guys who this guy could win the Masters. He competed the year Tiger won. He was leading at one point. Who is this guy? That's that point, and then. I mean, he's one of the top players in the world. Just nobody really knows about him because he's kind of quiet, humble guy who's hasn't really won anything yet. But I think he could. I'll say it right now. I think he could be one of those guys who I could definitely see winning the Masters.
I mean, for him, it's all about the putting, and his putting has improved so much recently.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sung JM too, doing really well. Where did he finish up this week? Do you know?
I don't think he didn't have 13th? The best. Yeah, he didn't have the best Sunday. He finished T12.
Okay.
But on top of that, I mean, he has a T5 finish at the Century Tournament of Champions, T14 DP World Tour. The Masters, obviously, he was second, so he's been playing pretty well.
Right.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah, I think he's gonna be around for a long time. He's just gonna continue just making tournaments. I feel like he could be the next Colin Morikawa, just making a cut every single tournament. He just seems so consistent.
Yeah. And then who's not? I got Sung Kang. Honestly, haven't really heard of Sung Kang, that's probably why. Like, or I know who he is. Obviously, I haven't heard of him recently. I was looking at the DraftKings salaries this week. He's only 6,200, so I think that probably tells you a little bit about that.
He's been cut. He's been cut in his last two events, the Sony and the American Express. He had 37 finish at Mayaco, which is not that bad, but he also got cut at the RSM. Got cut at the Houston Open, so it's been a rough couple of weeks for him.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And then obviously Phil just doesn't. I feel like he just doesn't play very good golf anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
he only won on the Champions Tour.
Yeah, on the Champions Tour. But I mean, this last week was Phil's event. I think he might have been the tournament host and stuff like that, and he didn't even make the cut. So
you see that one putt where it went a full 360 and another 180 around the cup and came out. I don't even know he finished that, but I'm sure he was really
he was around even par.
Yeah, and the winner was at 24. You can't. It's not even close.
Yeah. So I mean, it's fun to watch Phil play no matter what, just because he hits bombs.
Yeah, of course.
Lefty bombs from a freaking 50-year-old.
He's just one of those guys where it doesn't really. You'll watch him no matter how he plays. If he's on TV, you're gonna watch.
I mean, he's interesting.
Entertaining.
Yeah, he's interesting when he plays bad too.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
always smiling.
The announcers are always oh, I think Phil's gonna birdie this, and he's in a bunker, I don't know, 50 yards away from the green. They're oh yeah, he's gonna get this up and down.
Yeah. It's it's nothing.
All right, so the People's Champ of the Week this week. I'm very I read the whole article on Golf Digest. This is a cool one. It's Kamayu Johnson. I don't know if I'm really saying his first name right, but he was homeless, struggling on mini tours. He played on the APGA champion. He won the tour championship this year. But yeah, he's homeless and hopping from couch to couch at his friends' houses and stuff. And he's making his PGA Tour debut this week because he got an exemption from the Farmers Insurance president. And the way he started playing golf was he lived on a golf course, didn't play golf, but found a branch on the ground and just randomly started swinging it. And the general manager happened to be golfing that on that hole that his house was along, and just was all right, you want to come practice at our facility for $1 a week, and all you have to do is clean some carts, and then the rest is history. I mean.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for the name this week. See how he does.
He's playing this week with an exemption.
I'm excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited.
That's got to be nerve-wracking quite a bit.
I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be fans, so, but also very nerve-wracking. Because it's one of those opportunities where it's if you play well, what happens if you play well on an exemption? I don't really know, how that works.
You'll probably get more exemptions into other tournaments at some point. I feel like.
Yeah,
I mean, this is kind of different, but Will Zalatoris played well at the beginning of the year, and he got a bunch of exemptions in the first 5 events of the season. So.
But here's the thing: it's not like this guy's it's not like a charity case, letting him play. No. He's
a pro golfer.
Really good. He got his first set of his own customized irons a few months ago. He used off the rack equipment. Titleist hooked him up a few months ago.
That's crazy.
And now he's playing a PGA Tour event.
Yeah, pure talent. It's that's unreal.
Yeah.
So let's move into the stat of the week. This week, I mean, obviously we talked about it earlier, but you can talk about this one, Jeek.
Yeah, so stat of the week, we're going to continue the Siwoo Kim Pete Dye stats. And this week, the Pete Dye course, I think there was 3 rounds played there. He had 0 bogeys on all the Pete Dye, on the Pete Dye course this entire week, which is kind of crazy because I think every other player in the field had at least 1 bogey. I mean, it's a Pete Dye course. 2 out of his 3 wins have come up Pete Dye courses, so he's won the Players. He now won here. And he's among the leaders all time in total strokes gained at Pete Dye courses. I don't know the exact number for it, but he's got to be up there.
I would imagine.
So there's this quote too, Tom Watson. So Siwoo Kim obviously hit 0 bogeys on the Pete Dye course this week, which was the main course that they played. In 1987, I just had it. 1987, he said, Tom Watson said, "I'm sick and tired of these courses. It requires you to execute shots that no golfer should be expected to play." And this was about PGA West, the stadium course of PGA West. And then this year, Siwoo Kim doesn't make it a single bogey in 3 rounds at the course.
I mean, you had guys going in the water all over the place. Like, there was some people struggling this week, and Siwoo Kim played it perfectly.
Was. Talk about what were we saying?
It's just kind of funny. I like Tom Watson. Like, I guess it was a long time ago as well, but said no sane golfer should be expected to play some of these shots. Then Siwoo Kim doesn't make a single bogey on all 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, Pat and I went and played Pound Ridge, and that was another Pete Dye course, and we got destroyed. So
Siwoo Kim probably 59.
There's just trouble everywhere on a course like that. So
yeah,
Pound Ridge. Was I way worse than I am now? Yes. Did I have way shorter distances? Yes. Still just a weird course.
Still would have gotten obliterated.
Still would get obliterated to this day. That course sucks. I hate that course. All right. On that note, let's move into the course preview. Farmers Insurance Open.
All right, course preview. So Farmers Insurance Open, obviously it's at Torrey Pines. They're playing 2 different courses like they usually do, the North Course and the South Course. South Course is like the championship course you see at like the U.S. Open, which I think is in the U.S. Open this year, the South Course. Could be wrong. Yes. Yeah, is it?
It is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the South Course is the U.S. Open this year. Obviously the rough's going to be a lot higher for the U.S. Open and all that, and the course is going to play more difficult. But the South Course is the longest course in the PGA Tour rotation, like the normal rotation. It's 7,698 yards, so it's a long one. Thursday and Friday, they're going to alternate between the North and the South. Also, 10 of the last 14 winners have been inside the top 30 in driving distance, so that might be an important stat this week. The South Course is known for the tiny greens and being the longest course, better for the longer hitters, obviously. And then holes 12 and 15 are probably the 2 toughest on that course. And then the North Course has a little bit larger greens and shorter holes, and it's slightly easier to hit the fairways. So it's going to be easier on that course, but it still favors longer hitters and people who have good short game. Looking at stats this week, strokes gained ball striking is probably going to be a big one. You could pair that up with driving accuracy and distance, just strokes gained off the tee. Par 5's gain is going to be important. You want to score well in the par 5s. And par 4s, 450 to 500 are also a good one. And also you might want to look at like people who are good at hitting their irons from long distances. And then who's in the field this week? You got Jon Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Tony Finau. And who's out? Tiger Woods, obviously we mentioned before, and Justin Thomas is not playing this week. Mm-hmm. And then previous winners last year, Mark Leishman won. The year before that, Justin Rose, Jason Day's won twice, I believe. Brandt Snedeker's also won twice. Jon Rahm also won this event in 2017.
People also sleep that Kobe died during this tournament last year.
He did.
Was it during the Sunday? It was a Sunday, right?
It was a Sunday.
I remember Tiger was playing in it, and they were asked him about it.
That was crazy.
He had no idea. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Damn.
I think it's a year ago tomorrow too.
Yeah. R.I.P.
26th. Yeah. 26th.
R.I.P.
So let's move into skins. Let's talk about some of the favorites. We got Jon Rahm, Rory, Xander. Jon Rahm and Rory are both under plus 1,000. I think they're plus 710 and plus 825 or something like that for Rory. Mm-hmm. So it's yeah, they'll probably contend, but is it really worth throwing that out there?
No. Well, with the favorites, it's more of a live bet type of situation.
Yeah.
If they don't play that well in the first round, then you just take them live bet if they're within striking distance.
Especially if they played the South Course the first day and they play a North Course the second day.
Oh yeah, I mean you definitely want to target first day North Course.
Yeah, in North Course, if you pretty much need to play well in North Course to win, because it's so much easier in the South Course. And if you do that, then you're in a good position to compete for the weekend.
Right. So let's move into DraftKings. Who wants to start?
I'll start this week. So last week I had Charlie Hoffman withdraw and Cameron Champ was cut. But this week I have Jason Day 8,600 or 8,600 salary. He's made 8 out of 11 cuts here. He has 2 wins and a runner-up here as well. Most recently, 2018 was it? And his form doesn't matter as much from here because he usually takes time up before this event every year, unless he's in Century Tournament of Champions usually. And so, like, he has like his own little like regimen. I think he lives in Ohio and maybe he goes down to Florida a little bit, but he has his own little time off after the fall season. And he comes back and usually plays pretty well here. And also last year he finished the season, or in the summer and the end of the season, he finished pretty strong. I remember he was competing in a lot of events. He almost won a couple events too. So I think for that salary, and a guy with this much history at this course and he hits the ball far, I think it's a pretty good pick.
I mean, yeah, besides Tiger, Jason Day is probably your number 2 course horse here.
Yeah, exactly. Well and with a salary, like I feel like that's a low salary for someone who's done that well here, especially.
Right. I'll go next. So for my first pick, I'm going to go with Ryan Palmer at 8,400. He sits 50th in driving distance. He could hit the ball pretty far. I mean, he's not the longest hitter, but he does have it in him. He's 49th in strokes gained approach, and he's really good from approaches outside 200. I think he's about 24th in that. So that kind of favors somebody who's playing on a longer course. And he did play, he's played pretty well recently outside the final round at Sony. So I'm just kind of pairing up that driving distance with the accuracy from long distances, and I just think he could play well this week.
Gotcha. I got Harris English at 9,800. You know, it's up there in price, but I think it's a good pick. He's obviously playing really well right now. He was T32 at the Sony and obviously won Kapalua. Just really good ball striker, and he's also been in putting like lights out. He gained like so many strokes putting at Kapalua and gained a decent amount at Sony too. And then my low pick is Corey Connors. He's 7,700, and I feel like 7,700 like 7 to like 8,200 is like the very like in between like salaries. I feel like that's great value for him though, because his last 5 finishes are T17, T10, T10, T24, and T8. He's just like automatic right now. Or I mean, I guess he hasn't played in a bit, like in a tournament, but like that's because there was like a mini like off season. But yeah, elite ball striker, pretty efficient off the tee, so I like him.
Yeah, he's turning into one of those guys that's been labeled as an elite ball striker, like only, to becoming just like a good player.
Yeah.
Overall.
Exactly. So. He actually like has putted better too. Like last year I think he was 93rd in strokes gained putting, which is pretty good considering he was like putting was his struggle.
Yeah.
For a while.
With my next pick, I'm gonna go a little off the board. I'm gonna go Harold Varner at 7,000. Now his course history here is actually terrible. Like he's only made like 1 cut here, but that was a different Harold Varner. Harold Varner the third this year in 2021 has started off pretty good. He's 47th in par 4s, 450 to 500, which is a key stat that I went into this week. Also, he's 25th in strokes gained approach this season, and 12th in strokes gained around the green. I mean, he's top 100 in every category, every major category, and top 20 in strokes gained total and strokes gained around the green. So even though he has had a little success here, I'm going to go with him as a low salary guy.
So my low salary guy is Gary Woodland, not too low, 7,800, but I feel like he's still a good value. I do this a lot, but I'm going based off of the course history at this tournament too. He's top 20 in each of his last 4 starts here, last 4 years, and he T16 finished last week at the American Express, so he's finally starting to pick it up a little bit. Didn't play too great before that in the season, but I think a T16 finish and going back to a course where he knows he can play well bodes well for him. And he's obviously one of the longer hitters on tour. I think he's 60th in driving distance, but he's still, I mean, he has that stinger. He knows how to play with the best players in the world. He's won the U.S. Open before, so he knows what to do, and he knows that it's a course where he can. He's done it before that, so I think at that salary I think he's definitely gonna make the cut. I think a top 30 finish, top 20 finish is definitely in the cards for him too.
Breaking news. Southern Hills to host the 2022 PGA Championship.
Ooh,
interesting.
I like that.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I said that. I saw something about it. It was like Southern Hills might do it because they're hosting the senior PGA like that year or something like that.
Yeah. So
it is interesting. They're going a little off the map there because, like, obviously they were going to be in, like, Jersey, and now they're going to Oklahoma. So,
I mean, like, I'm not
Jersey,
like
New York.
Not that hyped about that.
Well, yeah, because we can't really like. I mean, we can go, but we can't really go.
I mean, the picture that Golf Digest posted of it. I mean, the clubhouse. It's a very nice clubhouse, I will say. But
yeah.
Other than that,
the pictures look really cool.
I don't know too much about Southern Hills, to be quite honest.
I've played multiple like big tournaments there, so yeah, I don't know too much about it either. But I'm looking forward to seeing them play it. So.
So I mean, we'll give you the DFS picks for that in 2022.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into bets. So my winner is gonna be Corey Connors. I mean, I already told you like a minute ago why I like him. He's plus 7,000, so 70 to 1. I feel like it's pretty good odds. And like you saw it last year, Mark Leishman was a like a great ball striker. Now he kind of is playing poorly, but that's why I think he could win this week. Yeah, he's played better recently, but he's kind of fallen off the map a little bit this past year. And then best bet, we don't have best bets right now because there's no Draftkings out. So maybe we'll post those on Instagram or something.
I mean, I have best bet that I
have one. Oh no, they're out now. I think.
No, they're not.
Are they not?
There's just more. There's just more. There's more best bets. There's more bets on DraftKings.
Well, then I'll do one on the fly here. I'll come back to me for my best bet.
Okay, we'll go back to Pat for his best bet. I'll go next. Also, I do have to mention John Huh. He played pretty well last week. Just didn't have a good final round, but I was all in on him last week. T22, I believe. But I'm going to go with Matthew Wolff as my winner, plus 3,400. I actually really like this one this week. His distance is in play this week. He's 9th in driving distance on tour this season. He's 7th in strokes gained approach this season. He's 4th in approach from 150 to 175. And for a guy like Matt Wolff, you might see a lot of those this week. And he's 48th in par 4s, 450 to 500. I just think this is a good course for Matthew Wolff, and I think he could win this week. My best bet, it might change, but for now I'm going to go with Jason Day top 30. I don't know what the odds are for that. If the odds aren't long enough for that, it will just convert to a top 20, which I believe is plus 188. So top 30 or top 20, we'll see. I like top 30 a lot better than top 20, but I'm going to have to stick with it. So we'll see.
I'm going to do that, but for Patrick Reed.
Okay.
Top 30?
Well, depending on what the odds are.
Okay, yeah. So my winner, I'm going all in on Tony Finau this weekend. He's my best bet and my winner. Plus 1,700 is my to win. Big bomber here, obviously, hits the ball a mile. He's never missed a cut here. He's 6 for 6 in cuts, 6 top 25s in 6 appearances, and T6 or better in 3 of his last 4 trips here. And he played great last week. Had a chance to win, still hasn't won since the Puerto Rico.
The final round really gets him. The final round. I mean, he was 4 under in the final round, but like you can't beat a 61 or 8 under from Siwoo Kim. So. And
I saw at one point he buried the first 2 holes or something like that, and he was like leading. I'm like this could be the tournament he wins, but obviously he didn't do that. But he played great last week, and so now I have my best bet. Him top 20 is plus 110. Again, he's 6 for 6 in top 25, 6 in 6 appearances, T6 or better in 3 of his last 4 trips here, and he's playing great golf. And top 20 is a pretty good bet for plus odds too. I think it's a great bet.
Yeah, so I had no clue you were gonna pick Tony Finau and like all your bets and stuff before I did this. So I put my first round leader in as him.
I literally just changed. I had Schauffele as my best bet, and I just changed it to Tony Finau because I realized. Finau, I just love Finau.
Yeah, so I do have Tony Finau's first round leader in here, but I think I'm going to change that because I just don't want to go all in on Tony Finau.
I think we could regret that.
Okay, we'll keep Tony Finau, but we'll also add on. I was looking at Scotty Scheffler as another one.
All right, the thing is, for first round leader this week though, I feel like we have to pick someone who's playing the North Course first.
Yeah, the tee times I don't think are out yet.
Okay,
sure. So. I mean, if they're playing on the North Course, Tony Finau and Scotty Scheffler, I don't know. golfer like that. But if they're playing on the soft course, then we're out of luck.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So let's move into in the clubhouse to finish off the week. This week, it's not a, it's not a par 3 or anything. We're going with the bad beat of the week, and we're going with my best bet from last week. It's Russell Knox over Molinari. He tripled the last hole to lose the matchup by 1.
I think he was by 2 actually.
Brutal.
Did he lose by 1?
Now 3 skins go to Trevor, which is $9 from each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's go.
That's just so brutal.
Yeah, I had what did I have last week?
I literally when I said earlier, I was watching, or I was looking at the scores, and right when I was looking at the scores, Pat sent a text saying, "Looks like we're gonna push. Or it looks like we're gonna have another skin available more skins available next week." And I'm like, oh, and I jokingly said, unless Russell Knox double bogeys and bogeys last 2 holes or something like that.
Yeah, so then I go into the show notes.
Yeah.
I go into the show notes just to edit everything, and I was looking for that bet because I was I just wanted to make sure that it happened, and I'm like, wait, he lost by a stroke or 2. What happened?
He tripled last hole.
I went to double check that you had Molinari and not. Or you had Knox and not Molinari. Maybe you had Molinari who was winning by a good amount or something, because that's what it looked like.
Yep.
But
Brutal.
It was the opposite.
How did Molinari play well?
That's the first time he's played well in God knows how long.
It might be the comeback of Molinari.
Just jinxes all of us.
I mean, dude, I had my best bet was Russell Henley top 30. He was a top 30 in 9 out of his last 10 events. He missed the cut.
I mean, John Ha, top 40, pretty good bet.
I mean, I had John Ha winning, and he played pretty well.
You did pretty well. Top 40, I'm like, all I have to do is make the cut and not finish last after making the cut.
Last thing that I want to mention for in the clubhouse, I think it's a good in the clubhouse thing. Real quick, Jordan Spieth, he's playing this week. What do we think?
Oh,
prediction time.
I think he's gonna miss the cut. To be honest,
I think
I'm gonna go with the made cut.
Makes the cut in the number.
And
a
top 60.
So pretty much he just makes the cut. Yeah.
He just makes the cut.
Just makes the cut.
Actually, there is odds on miss cut.
Imagine he makes the cut. Imagine he makes the cut and finishes 61st or something like that.
I mean, they're not up yet, but I wonder what his odds for to make the cut is, or make it.
I have no clue. I'd say minus 180, probably.
That's what Corey Connors is to make the cut. So.
Oh, so maybe not.
And Corey Connors is a lot better than Jordan Spieth right now. So.
No.
Yeah.
Corey Connors to make the cut is probably even money if I had to guess.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, we all are. But it's just, I hope he plays well. Hope he does.
All right.
It's him and Tiger, the 2 guys I want to play well the most probably.
On that note, we'll wrap up the episode. No clue what tournament is next week. No clue.
I think it's the Waste Management.
Oh, really? That's next week already? Oh, that makes sense.
It's always Super Bowl week. It's always Super Bowl week. Yeah,
you're right. All right, so we got
That's pretty awesome.
We got an electric couple weeks of golf here. I feel like the Farmers Insurance is great. It's a great tournament. Waste Management is a great tournament. We'll see you next week for that.